I think that if I went to a high school reunion or something with people I haven't seen for many years, they would be really surprised because it just wasn't, that's not what I was into at that time. I refused to run the mile. It was exhausting to me and I just didn't like running. I got inspired by this woman at a local race that I lifeguarded for and decided to do a triathlon. I managed to get through the first 2 triathlons I attempted and came to Oregon State, met some triathletes in the quad. So I joined up with the club. They enabled me to do all these races and make all these friends and connections and find out that my true passion is exercise physiology. Over the next couple of years, I got more and more race experience, and they kept talking me into longer and longer distances, which was terrifying to me. A bunch of us decided that maybe we should do an Ironman. At that point, it was just sort of like this idea, but a couple months later, we drove up to Canada to watch the race and eventually signed up. And then reality kind of hit. Iron Day came around, and it was a very, very long, hard day, and made it through just under the wire. And it was a huge moment for me because going from the person who would not run the mile to running an Ironman triathlon was just a huge change. And without the club, I would have never done something like that. I want to make sure that this club is around for many, many years to support as many students as we possibly can in continuing or starting in triathlon, or even if they don't ever race a tri, having a reason to get out and be active with friends.
I was playing baseball at Concordia University in Portland. I started attending there my freshman year. I was looking at engineering programs and I realized that Oregon State had a construction engineering management. Baseball really wasn't working out. I mean, I wasn't a star starting, so I was like, maybe I should, change my gears and go get this degree that I really wanted to get. I'm from Kaneohe, Oahu. I was pretty much born and raised in the water. I remember being so young and my parents throwing me on a surfboard and just tumbling in the water, not knowing which way is up or down. And I remember the wave only must have been maybe a foot tall, but to me it must have felt like 2 feet over my head. Being a lifeguard and being around the water, I just wanted to have that same sense of still being able to be in a somewhat of my own environment that I like. Over here with the professional atmosphere, it really promotes us to strive and be that much better for when we actually do graduate and get out into the workforce. I think it was a great experience for me to come here, get an actual job where it's not baseball where you're dependent on your coach, can do some things for you. It's on you, and it just really made me realize that I need to try harder for everything I do. I love everything this place has to offer, and I personally utilize it every day.
Sweet, and then we can potentially stop for dinner on the way back, depending on if you're a little bit worried, or if you're like, hey, I really don't know how to swim, let me know.
I would not be here if I hadn't found the ALI. I was really, really struggling last year and not sure that I wanted to stay. I was looking for sort of people to spend time with and things to do, clubs to join, and I was really struggling my first few weeks of my freshman year. And then I think I was at a party and someone said, I'm going on this really cool kayaking trip next week and you should come. And I said, oh, no way, that sounds really fun. I just realized like this is really the place where I want to be, and it just turned into this like really great community for me. So planning an overnight kayaking trip, really excited about that. A really similar one to the very first adventure club trip that I went on. I have this goal almost throughout my life. If I really find these people that I really see as mentors and I really almost want to become them in a way, or like really, really admire them. I saw like all these people who had really, first of all, like great leadership strengths and just like were really, or at least seemed to be natural leaders, and were really involved with all the ALI programs. And I just told myself like I really hope to be one of those people one day, and I had no idea that it would be so soon. I want to be able to provide the similar or like same experiences that I've had for other people, and just to like make sure those experiences can go to a whole range of populations. I hope that I'm bringing like a welcoming face and just like be a mentor similar to the ones that I've had.